Did you know the most powerful woman in Chinese history was linked to the disappearance of her own newborn? Her name was Wu Zetian, and the baby killing was just the beginning. She seduced her stepson, took lovers 50 years younger, possibly poisoned her own son. This documentary explores disturbing historical records and the extreme nature of an ancient reign. The year is 638 AD. A beautiful 14-year-old enters the palace. Her name is Wu Zhao. The emperor is 40 years old. But Wu Zhao isn't looking at the emperor. She's looking at his son. Nang, Crown Prince Li Ji, is 16, just 2 years older than Wu Zhao. While Wu Zhao was the emperor's concubine, she began a secret affair with his son. This was incest by Chinese law. If discovered, both would be executed. But Wu Zhao calculated the risk. The old emperor was dying. She was 14 years old and already understood the power of influence. The affair continued for years, meeting in secret, stolen moments, forbidden touches. Then, in 649 AD, Emperor Taizong died. Wu Zhao was sent to a temple, her head shaved, and she wore nun's robes. Most women would accept this fate. Wu Zhao did not. One year later, her former lover, now Emperor Gaozong, visited the temple. The old book of Tang records, when the emperor saw Wu Zhao, both wept bitterly. But what really happened in that temple? Historians believe Wu Zhao seduced the emperor right there, in a Buddhist temple, while she was a nun, on the anniversary of his father's death. This violated every religious and moral law in China. But it worked. Within months, Wu Zhao was pregnant. The emperor secretly brought her back to the palace. Think about this scandal. Wu Zhao had been the emperor's father's concubine. She had been his father's son's secret lover. Now she was pregnant by her former stepson. This was the worst sexual transgression imaginable. But the emperor didn't care. He was obsessed. Why? What made Wu Zhao different from thousands of other beautiful women? Ancient sources describe Wu Zhao as skilled in the bedchamber beyond any woman. Ancient China had extensive erotic literature, the famous pillow books, detailed sexual manuals. Wu Zhao studied these texts and mastered skills that Confucian wives refused. The Zhiyi Tongjian records the emperor was bewitched by Wu Zhao's sexual skills. She understood male psychology. She knew when to submit and when to dominate. She used sex to create emotional addiction, and he was addicted to her. One text bluntly states, the emperor could not satisfy his lust for Wu Zhao. But Wu Zhao wasn't just using sex, she was using pregnancy. In 652 AD, she gave birth to a son, the emperor's male heir. Empress Wang had produced no sons. Wu Zhao, the former nun, now held ultimate power. The emperor wanted to elevate Wu Zhao, but Empress Wang and consort Zhao blocked him. Wu Zhao needed them destroyed. In 654 AD, Wu Zhao gave birth to a daughter. What happened next is the most controversial accusation in Chinese history. According to official records, Empress Wang visited to see the newborn baby. The baby was healthy and beautiful. The empress admired the child and left. 1 hour later, the emperor came to see his daughter. He walked to the cradle, excited to see his baby girl. A moment that changed the course of a dynasty. Tragedy had struck the heart of the palace. She pointed at the empress. The empress was just here. She was the last person to see our daughter alive. The accusation was clear. A choice had to be made between love and power. The empress had no witnesses, no proof, just her word against Wu Zhao's tears. Did Wu Zhao really orchestrate this? Let's examine the historical evidence. Motive: Wu Zhao desperately needed to destroy the empress. Opportunity: Wu Zhao was alone with the babe, no witnesses. Timing: the murder happened exactly when the emperor was frustrated with the childless empress. The method was silent, leaving the world with only questions. Result: it worked perfectly. Within 1 year, Wu Zhao became empress. Historical records suggest a brutal calculation was made. 1 life offered in exchange for the ultimate throne. In 655 AD, Wu Zhao became empress. But she wasn't satisfied with removing her rivals. She wanted them destroyed. Former Empress Wang and consort Xia were arrested, beaten, imprisoned in darkness. A small, dark cell, the 2 women locked in darkness, minimal food and water. They begged the emperor for mercy. He considered releasing them. Wu Zhao discovered this and decided to send a terrifying message. What happened next is among the most brutal punishments in Chinese history. Empress Wu ordered both women brought before her. Their hands and feet were cut off. Then they were thrown alive into large wine jars filled with wine. They drowned slowly in alcohol and their own blood. Before dying, Empress Wang screamed, "I curse you. In my next life, I'll be a cat, will be a mouse, and I will tear out your throat Consort Xiao's dying words, "May you be reborn without hands or feet." This is terrifying. Wu Zetian. For 50 years, she banned all cats from every palace. She moved the capital to escape the ghosts. She woke screaming from nightmares about cats clawing at her face. Think about this. Wu Zetian ruled China for half a century. She commanded armies. But she lived in terror of cats and ghosts. The guilt or the fear of curses never left her. As Empress Wu Zetian faced a new problem, the emperor still had hundreds of concubines. Wu Zetian found a solution. She controlled access to the emperor's bedroom. The emperor suffered headaches and dizzy spells. Wu Zetian convinced him sex worsened his condition. She brought in doctors who confirmed this, doctors she had bribed or threatened. Then she took control of his schedule. She decided when he could have sex. The Ziji Tongjian records, Empress Wu controlled access, no concubine without her permission. Slowly, Wu Zhao reduced the emperor's access to other women. But she wasn't just blocking other women, she was giving him something they couldn't. Knowing when to submit and dominate, using sexuality to create emotional dependency. The emperor became addicted. Even as his health declined, his desire intensified. One text bluntly states, the emperor could not satisfy his lust for Empress Wu. By the late 60s, Emperor Gaozong's health was deteriorating. Wu Zhao volunteered to assist. At first, she sat behind a screen listening. Then, she made suggestions directly. Then she issued orders in the emperor's name. By 660 AD, Wu Zhao was effectively ruling China while the emperor sat on the throne. This was unprecedented. No empress had ever wielded direct political power. Officials protested. Wu Zhao's response: arrest, torture, execution. The message was clear. Wu Zhao was co-ruler. Anyone who challenged her would die. Wu Zhao and Emperor Gaozong had 4 sons: Li Hong, Li Xian, Li Zhe, and Li Dan. Li Hong, the eldest, was intelligent, capable, beloved by the court, being groomed as emperor. But in 675, when Li Hong was 23, he made a fatal mistake. He questioned his mother's power. He told her, "Mother, you have too much influence." The ministers complain. You should return to managing the inner palace. 2 weeks later, Li Hong was dead. Official cause: sudden illness. Historical suspicion: Wu Zhao poisoned him. The new book of Tang directly accuses the empress poisoned Crown Prince Li Hong. The evidence: Li Hong was young and healthy. Sudden death was suspicious. He died immediately after questioning his mother's authority. Wu Zhao had motive, access, and history of murder. But unlike the baby's death, this one had witnesses. Imperial doctors examined the body. Their verdict was recorded: death by natural causes. Were they telling the truth? Or did Wu Zhao threaten them? But certain, after Li Hong died, Wu Zetian's power increased dramatically. Her second son, Li Shan, became crown prince. He learned not to question his mother. By 683, Emperor Gaozong was barely functioning, 56 but looked 80. On December 27, 683 AD, Emperor Gaozong died. Wu Zhao was 59. She had controlled him for 45 years. Now she was Empress Dowager. Her son, Emperor Zongzong, took the throne. Everyone assumed Wu Zhao would retire. Everyone was wrong. Within weeks, Emperor Zongzong made a critical error. He told his mother, "I am the emperor. I can give the entire empire to my father-in-law." Wu Zhao's response was immediate. She called an emergency court, accused her own son of incompetence, and deposed him. After just 55 days, Emperor Zongzong was stripped of his title and exiled. Wu Zhao replaced him with her youngest son, Li Den, Emperor Ruizong. Everyone understood he was a puppet. And she was about to do something no woman in Chinese history had ever done. Wu Zhao was now 60, a widow, supposed to be living in quiet retirement. She defied every tradition of a widow's celibacy. Did you see him? His Hirakim. This scandalized China. Widows were supposed to be celibate. Taking lovers was shameful. Taking young lovers was unthinkable. But Wu Zhao didn't care. Her first famous lover was Su Huaiyi, a street peddler, tall, handsome, exceptionally endowed. She had him ordained as a fake Buddhist monk to provide cover. The old book of Tang states, Shui Huaiyi served Empress Wu in her bedchamber, skilled in pleasing her. His real job was satisfying the 60-year-old widow's sexual desires. He was given enormous power. He supervised construction, commanded armies. But when Wu Zetian got bored with him, and he died mysteriously, she had him killed when he was no longer useful. Then, in her 70s, Wu Zetian took 2 new lovers, the Zhang brothers. Hinzelace, Zhang Yiji and Zhang Chengzang, extraordinarily beautiful young men, possibly in their early 20s. Wu Zetian was in her 70s. They were 50+ years younger. The Ziji Tengjian describes them. Both brothers were beautiful as women, skilled in cosmetics and perfumes. They attended the Empress in her private chambers day and night. The implication is clear. These were Wu Zhao's sexual playthings. Officials were horrified. They submitted memorials begging Wu Zhao to send these men away. Her response: she promoted the Zhang brothers to high government positions. She was the most powerful person in China. If she wanted young male concubines, who would stop her? In 690 AD, Wu Zhao made her final move. She forced her son, Emperor Ruizong, to abdicate. At age 6-7, she declared herself emperor, not empress, not regent, emperor. She changed the dynasty from Tang to Zhou. She declared herself Zetian, ruler of heaven. Wu Zetian became the only woman in 2,000 years of Chinese history to officially hold the title of emperor. But even as emperor, she maintained her relationship with the Zhang brothers. As Emperor Wu Zetian ruled for 15 years, her reign marked by achievements and atrocities. Historical records estimate she ordered the execution of over 1,000 officials. In her final years, Wu Zetian became obsessed with extending her life. She took elixirs containing mercury and lead that probably shortened her life. She kept her young lovers close, convinced sex with young men would keep her vital. By 705 AD, Wu Zetian was 81 and seriously ill. Court officials saw their opportunity. They were particularly enraged by the Zhang brothers. In February 705, officials staged a coup. They stormed Wu Zetian's bedchamber. They seized the Zhang brothers and executed them immediately. Wu Zetian was too weak to resist. Officials forced her to abdicate. The Tang dynasty was restored. The Zhou dynasty ended after 15 years. Wu Zetian died on December 16, 705 AD at age 82. Her final order: remove the title emperor. Bury me as empress. At her tomb stands the wordless stele, a blank monument with no inscription. All other imperial tombs have detailed inscriptions. Wu Zetian's has nothing. Some say her achievements were too great for words. Others say no words could defend her crimes. The blank stone stands as the perfect symbol for Wu Zetian, a woman so controversial that even 1,300 years later we can't agree what to say about her. Let's summarize Wu Zetian's private life. Her rise was marked by a trail of unprecedented actions and tragic ends. She drowned rivals in wine jars, possibly poisoned her son, took lovers 50 years younger, executed thousands. Wu Zetian, seductress, murderer, mother killer, ruler. History still doesn't know what to say about her.